When I read the announcement of Sonible's Smart Comp 3, I thought,
What? Already a new one?
but it has been 3.5 years since version 2 came out and over 6 years since version 1. Version 3 is an auto-learning compressor. It gives you all the controls you want and more from any compressor. And it can also do things like track spacer like frequency ducking and soothe to Gullfoss type of frequency smoothing. But I'd say with this version 3 the focus was on improving workflow and speed by, for instance, adding this new section with this green blob. We'll dive in what that actually does. Funny enough, the changes result in that the plugin looks a bit more busy than the previous version. There's a lot to look at, but it's not complicated. It will be easy to work with after just a little while. Here's the disclaimer: Sonible is sponsoring this video, but they have not seen the video before you do, and my opinions are mine and mine alone. You can use Smart Compressor 3 as a regular compressor with all the controls you want to get, but the recommended way to start using this compressor is to use its advanced Smart Learn function. It is what this plugin and basically all Sonible plugins are about. You start by selecting a profile that fits the audio and press Learn. The plugin will listen to the audio and comes up with a compression setting. What's new in version 3 is its compression matrix and its compression scope. It's the rectangle here on the left with this green blob. This will give you a very fast and easy way to adjust the compression sound and settings Smart Comp 3 comes up with. By moving around, the attack, threshold and ratio and so on get adjusted instantly. You are restricted to within the borders of the blob when moving around. You can see this green blob as a sort of a safe area for compression settings. The descriptions in the matrix surrounding the suppression scope will give you a pretty good idea of how the compression sound will change when you move around. Now you can move outside this area, but only when you adjust the various compression settings in the center display. Those settings often sound more extreme and can become more effective because of that. But it can also be worthwhile to not stick to the green blob settings. Let me show you with an example. With this kick after learning, almost every setting in the blob makes that the second one of the faster kicks sound softer, even though it's played equally loud. But if I want a snappy sound and that second kick to be equally loud, I have to disable the auto release and set it to a shutter release. So don't be afraid to tweak this setting Smart Comp 3 comes up with and ignore the compression scope. When you want to be in control and adjust every parameter of the compression sound, the center section is where you want to be. You also find advanced features here. You get a few default compression styles to choose from, but also a new custom mode, which turns Smart Comp 3 into one of the most advanced controllable compressors. If you are a tweaker like me, this is the area you want to live. The input writing has been refined. In short, this function is like a little input fader that continuously will adjust the level. This will help a lot in get a smoother compression sound because the compressor doesn't need to work as hard. In the advanced section you find a few more very powerful features. The Spectral compression is like Soothe 2 or better said Gullfoss. The plugin will apply additional very precise per frequency compression. The result will be a transparent and cleaner sound. You can set how precise this works and also which region. This is a very powerful addition to the normal compression of the plugin. The Sidechain has a few tricks up its sleeve. First of all, it can work as your regular sidechain, but with far better control. You can really set the compression behavior. You can do API type of sidechain filters easily, or something as regular as high-pass sidechain. When you set this to external, you will notice that Spectral compression switches to Spectral ducking. This is your built-in track spacer mode. Competing frequencies will be ducked. Now, one of the new workflow speed improvements in Smart Comp 3 is the new grouping function. You simply add multiple instances of Smart Comp 3 to a group. You can then access each of them within one plugin, or do things like changing parameters of them all at the same time, or even do batch learning. There's one more thing I want to point out. Smart Comp 3 now comes with a low latency mode in the form of a minimum phase filter option. This will have just 12 samples of latency. When you enable linear phase, this goes up to 1992 samples. Simply put, that means that right now you can use Smart Comp 3 as a real-time compressor. The CPU usage was around 5% for one instance on my test system. Overall, Smart Comp 3 is a very powerful compressor. Absolutely worth checking out if you're on the lookout for a workhorse type of compressor. This one can do it all.